Oh, look at that. It actually started up first time, I think. I can't believe it. Wow, that's nice. Holy crap. Alright, so if you're watching the replay, we are here in Laramie, Wyoming. We're going to be taking a little bit of a pass through the area. We'll see how things go. Let me know in the live chat if you guys can hear me. We're going to go ahead and take a look around places, though, in Laramie that have changed. So one of the big ones, I think, is definitely this place in front of us. It's definitely a lot different than when I filmed it way back when. And I'll talk about it here shortly. Right now I got my phone kind of rigged up awkwardly, so I won't be able to see chat all the time. I'll have to take pauses here and there to actually read chat, just so you guys know. But I think any moment now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna wait to turn the air conditioner down until I can see that you guys hear me. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
And he's lagging. I can't quite hear him through there. Come on. Say in chat for me if you don't mind. Can you hear me on the live stream? Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Gotta be a little careful with my cord. It's too long for the use case, but that's okay. Boop. There we go. Should be bueno. All right. So, we are over here in Laramie, Wyoming. Like I said, we're going to start over here on the east end of town, and I think somehow kind of work towards downtown or something like that. I have a rough draft of what I'm going to do. The first place I wanted to check out is this former Walmart. This is the old Walmart located along Grand Avenue. There is a new location that's a super center, but this location got replaced by Snowy Range Academy, Dollar Tree, and Leap Fitness. Leap Fitness is a former Staples. The facade still looks like it, even though the colors are different. Snowy Range Academy expanded into the former Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree actually closed, and last I heard they do have plans to reopen in Laramie, but I have not heard anything official on that. One thing that caught my eye is that Leap Fitness finally got a sign over here. So a long time ago, the self-standing sign said Staples, of course. Now it just says Leap Ninja Warrior Gym. Seems like they're targeting pretty much anyone of any age, though I did see some pretty young ones going in there when I pulled up to the area. Just happened to notice that. It was long before the live stream. What's up, Dan C, as well as Standby News, who I saw in the chat initially. Let's see, west. All right. We're going to be able to go after this car. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to watch chat while I'm on the road. It's just not going to happen because the phone is too far away. And that's probably a good thing because I don't need to be distracted, do I? So we're on Grand Avenue, headed west. Here is Boulder Drive. We're going to go down the road just a little bit and catch the first place. Looks like the phone might be a little crooked, so maybe when we get to the next place, I'll hop out and adjust the angle a little bit. Had it pretty close. What's up, Brian? Brian C, how are you doing? I think that's who I saw in there. It's hard to see the screen from here. Hopefully you're doing well, though, dude. So we're kind of in the car hinge area. Got Ford, Chevrolet, and all that. And then I need to... Jesus, dude. Got a little close to my rear there, didn't ya? I'm I'm glad I didn't slow down right at that sign. Otherwise, I would have been in a crash probably. That would have been bad. And that, I don't know whose fault that one would have been. Kind of both of ours, because I would have slammed the brakes on and he would have been getting in my lane. And I passed the spot where I needed to turn. That's okay. We'll go back. Maybe we'll do the place across the street first. This actually works good for the angle, so we'll do the place across the street first. That's all right. So, of course, we got the fast food joints over here. McDonald's, Burger King, what have you. Starbucks. There's a Perkins over here. Before I started the stream and when I got into Laramie, I went over and got me a hot dog from one of the travel center places here. So across the street, of course, got the old Albertsons. That's now Ridley's. It used to be a Butchery Food and Drug. Over here off to the right, though, is a USA Gasoline. And you can see they've completely removed. There we go. They completely removed the overhang canopy bit. This is going to be hard to turn left. We're at a weird angle because of how I angled you guys, but now we're kind of stuck because of the traffic. Hang tight. We'll get there one way or another. Started right about on the time that I wanted to. I'm going to go this way. Screw it. We're going to go this way and come back around. Of course, now I could have turned left. Okay, joke's on me twice today. Earlier, I was trying to film a video of one place, and I accidentally said, "Welcome to the abandoned IHOP," instead of "Welcome to the place we were doing." I don't want to reveal what the place is yet, just because I want it to be a surprise, kind of. Well, maybe not. We're gonna see it in the stream anyway at some point, but wild Optin is natural habitat. Man, he reminded me of the abandoned factory video. I don't think I included the clip in the video, but if I remember right, one of the people I was with in that video, I think one of them said something like that when they were getting a clip of me walking, but I digress. Come on, traffic. Just waiting for a good clear spot. Almost could go now. Probably could do after this truck if he... There we go. All right. We'll go backtrack a little bit. Right here is where I want to turn. Avoid the big pothole the best I can. There you go. Wanted to try something completely new and different today. And now that things appear to be going away where maybe I can finally get to cities again, do some other stuff that I don't usually do. I don't see any reason why I won't be able to occasionally do some stuff outside of Cheyenne now. Granted, okay, this person's gonna wait. Granted, I have done a few videos and stuff outside of Cheyenne. It's been a little while since I've done like really frequent videos and stuff from outside of Cheyenne. It's the way it goes, but... Alright, there we go. So I wanted to show this, the Applebee's right here on the right. Applebee's here in Laramie closed a few weeks ago. I don't remember the exact date. They've already taken down the signs though. There are a few spots we can see in, although I'm not going to go over there right now. You want to know a little secret though? That's the video I recorded. Yeah. And I'll show this to you really quickly. So this used to be a steakhouse next to Applebee's. It used to be a steakhouse. I never went there, but I did notice that when I was doing research long ago on the building. It's now a Freddy's. They did a really, really, really drastic remodel on it. If anything is even still there, maybe the foundation and maybe the framework. But it turned into Freddy's, and later Jersey Mike's opened next door. So I don't think I've been to this Jersey Mike's, but I have been to the Cheyenne one that also happens to be next to a Freddy's. I have been to this Freddy's. This was actually the first place I tried Freddy's steak burgers. So yeah, kind of different. I'll read chat here in a second. The way I have you guys situated, you're basically the passenger in the seat. I cannot read the screen though from here very easily, so I will have to stop to be able to read chat, which is what I'm going to do now. Hey Nikki, hey Restore Data, how are you doing? Let's see, I can't not see it, man. It's almost hard to see the chat. I gotta kick up the AC for a few though. My phone's getting hot. Let's see. I'm doing all right, and hopefully everyone in the chat's doing okay. Chi-Town is not doing too bad, I suppose. Quite a bit of stuff opening and closing overall, but maybe not out of the ordinary. I think the most recent thing I noticed is that the Wyoming is moving their headquarters to the former Taco John's headquarters building. I don't think Taco John's has much, if any, offices there anymore. If they do, it's only like a single floor of the 2-3 floor building over there that they have. I've heard that they moved a lot of the people out of the Taco John's location here, the Taco John's offices, so now they're kind of somewhere else for the most part. However, I haven't heard for certain if Taco John's is completely out of there, but their sign for them is definitely not present anymore now that Wyolato's going in there. Can't think of any other super recent things. Frontier Days is happening, so Cheyenne's kind of being busy for that. I think a lot of downtown businesses are trying to have extended hours right now. So, yeah. Oh, man. Are you back in Arizona, you're saying? That's cool. I'm at work. Okay, that's all right. I'm glad you could make in and say hello. Hopefully you're having a good day, though, man. Glad to see you in the chat. It's been a little while since we've chatted. All right. So the next place I wanted to look at was actually just past this next street here. So this is Grand Avenue. We're once again headed west through Laramie. And gosh, I almost need to park in a different spot. There's a new place right here called the Human Being. And I think next to that was where a urology clinic was that used that really old 70s aesthetic slanted shingled roof thing. It's now going to be a car wash, of course, breeze through, and they already demolished it. I thought it would still be there so that maybe we could take a look at it today in the live stream, but it is gone, so we'll only be able to take a quick look here, and that'll be about that. Kind of really need to be on the other side of the road. Shoot. Sorry, person. We'll go ahead and park right here. Go ahead. All right, there we go. I didn't see that person behind me. Beep. There's no one behind me now. Try and find a spot to maybe try and turn around. Yeah, got a car there. Don't see any cars behind me. There we go. Okay, well, that works. So this is over here at the corner of Grand Avenue, and what is this cross street I'm on? 26th Street. I like to go straight across. I don't know if I'll have that luxury, maybe. I don't know. I got a better idea. I have a better idea. I see it. I see what I can do. Beep, beep. We'll look at the chat again here in a moment. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That's a good view of it. Yeah, used to be just a small building in the middle of that lot, as far as I can tell. Let's see. Gosh, it's hard to see. Boy, my phone is hot. Hopefully it doesn't end up having to power off. There's no behind me. No. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to chat again. Wood shingles are definitely a 1970s aesthetic. Yep. See, I remember I'm on the Safeway in Cole Shopping Center. That's where I recognize them. And of course, in more recent times, it doesn't necessarily look as nice in a way. I mean, it gives it character and aesthetic, but like because they were so worn down, it kind of looked ugly and rotty-like. At a certain point, stuff wears out, unfortunately. Is it Dirty going? Oh, is Dirty Dough still going in next to Chiba Hut? As far as I understand, that whole thing fell through. I think they still might want to come to Cheyenne. I haven't heard anything since they removed the location off their website. But they definitely not going to be going in Pershing Marketplace. That space in that building is actually on the market now. What's up, Greeley man? Yeah, you didn't almost miss me. You're actually almost on time. We just started. So I'm going to go ahead and go before this guy gets to the cross. So that way he doesn't have to maneuver me. And we'll go in here real quick. Why not? I forget what they call this plaza. There used to be a McAllister's Deli over here. I think I photographed it. I can't remember. Man, there's two things I want to do. So we're going to look at this first. So there's all kinds of businesses in here. On the left, we got Sportsman's Warehouse, Mr. Jim's Pizza, Army Guard, Chili's, Maurice's, Mary's Mountain Cookies, Into Juice. So they are still here in this location. Blue Ham Bones Pizza. Something else that doesn't have a sign up right now. It looks like a bar. GNC, Jimmy John's. We got all that. On the right, we have Ribbon Shop House and the Studio Cinema. And it looks like some kind of maybe mixed use building. Looks like storefronts along with residential spaces. And, oh, McAllister Deli is still here. So we'll go around the lot. Kind of over near University of Wyoming right now. So there is that. I think you guys should be able to just kind of see McAllister's, but you guys might have the sign cut off a little bit. We're gonna actually back up here, make sure no one's behind me. There we go. Did Duncan by Albertsons fall through too? I can't tell. It was back in January when they put in project files, and usually when there's project files, it can take up to years for that thing to take off. So I'm not sure. I've heard rumor that they backed out of it, but I don't know yet. I just have not found anything for certain, so I can't say one way or the other. There we go. So now we got Ribbon Shop on the left and Studio Cinemas. Got this nice narrow street that seems to do okay at keeping people going relatively slow. Alright, I want to take a left because I want to show this area. I passed through here when I got here, and it's like, this looks like really, really Dutch-inspired area over here. I'm not sure if this is like just individual condos and apartments, or if it's residential area for the school. It might be residential area for the school, I'm not sure. But it feels very, 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 very... So this is Lodgepole Lane that we're on. It feels very Dutch inspired right through here. And I love how even over here, you do have kind of a park area thing where the spaces actually exit out onto it. It looks like it's the same on the other side of the street as well, where it exits out into a green space. Kind of cool. Wasn't planning to throw in this part in the stream, but it caught my attention when I was going through Laramie initially, so it's like, you know what, I want to put this in the stream. It is the weekend, so the university's bus system is not running. If it was running, I would probably be doing a walking, Jesus, really hypothetically, but maybe doing a biking stream, but it's not running, and we got a lot of distance to cover, so I definitely am not going to walk it. And I'm not in shape enough to do a really long bike ride, so this is what we got. Gonna make the best of it. I guess I should have gotten in that right lane. I wasn't sure if that was a parking lane at first, but I guess it was a turn lane. All right. We are at the intersection of 30th and Grand. I'm going to go west on Grand again. I think you can turn right on Red in Laramie. Most places you can. Cheyenne, you definitely can turn right on Red. I think Laramie's the same way. Hopefully. I think it is. I think it is, but all right. Next place is actually on the left. So this is over here at 24th and Grand. So this is a former Loaf and Jug on the left. I thought it was going to be abandoned when I got here, but it doesn't really look abandoned now. It looks like Toyota maybe is using it as offices or storage or something. You can see all the Toyota shuttle stuff there. But the sign is still there for Loaf and Jug, and you can definitely see the label scar. I'll have to look at chat again here in a moment. Shame living in a smaller city, town of less than 75,000 people can get difficult to trying to persuade a new business to open. I imagine that might be at least a little bit true. There is certainly like a point where if you don't have enough people, you're not going to be able to stay in business unless you have like a really, really non-niche thing you're doing that can be applicable to everyone there. Okay, we're going to turn right again. Maybe I'll pull into Dickie's lot if I'm able to. That way I can read chat. Now, most don't even look open right now. Oh, there's a car wash. How about that? All right. Yeah, I think Laramie is about 31,000, I think I saw on the sign when I was coming in. They can open, oh yeah, tell me about the casinos and the smoke shops, which by the way, there's a new smoke shop opening, and the location where it is actually is kind of almost aggravating in a way. You'll see where I'm talking about shortly. I don't necessarily want to put shade on them. I'm sure they probably have great service, but I do not endorse smoking. I don't think people should smoke. If you do smoke, that's on you, but I don't smoke. I don't think others should smoke. Where we live, we have 52,000 population, but the only one McDonald's. We have other fast food joints, however. I think Laramie has 2 McDonald's. I think there's one on the west side as well. Yeah, fast food wise, there's not going to be a lot of difference. Local stuff, maybe. I'm debating on whether I want to go down one of the other streets in downtown. We'll see what happens when I get there. What time are we at? All right, I'm gonna try and pause. I don't know if I'll be able to. Ooh, I am gonna be able to. I'm gonna get a quick photo of Loaf and Jug. The Loaf and Jug sign, anyway. I can see it perfectly from here. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. There we go. All right, we're gonna try and take a left onto Grand Avenue. The last time I was in Laramie was, I believe, 2021. And before that, I think it was like late 2019 or early 2020. I did a few videos. What did I film? I filmed a car wash, I filmed the Kmart, and I don't know if I filmed how many other videos I filmed. I think the Kmart I technically did twice. But all right, I'm gonna hop in the right lane. On the left, you got Laramie Chamber Business Alliance. It's in a former Phillips 66. I can tell by the design. I think it was some kind of car place for a little while, but it got replaced. So that's what's there now. I want to show, well, here's Taco Bell. I went to this Taco Bell one time. Don't think I had any complaints. Gosh, this intersection's odd. I'm gonna have to go out through the main thing so that you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. I want to show this first. So we got Taco John's over here on the left. They've obviously done a little bit of repainting on it, but they kept the design, the aesthetic of it, which I like. I like that a lot. I'm gonna idle backwards a little bit here. Let's see, maybe I can go into one of these spots. I want to go out in this intersection properly so that you can see how weird this is. There we go. Ooh, I went through the pothole on the front. That was nice. Glad I have some good clearance. I'm glad that I was going slow. That would have been sucky if I went hard on it. Ugh. Look how weird this intersection is. What's up, Dalmatian? How are you doing? Look at this weird intersection, man. There's a light off to the right and a light to the left. There's no arm. I guess you don't really need that because this is a tiny parking lot entry, but it's not even aligned with the street across the street. Well, still says the device is getting too hot, but yet it feels cooler now than it did 5 minutes ago. Oops. I don't know how long this light's gonna take. It might not have a sensor with where I'm at, but I don't know. There we go. There's the green light. Gave a pedestrian too. Shocked. Nobody clicked the button, so I'm shocked it actually did that. I think that was about it there that I wanted to do at that point, but we've got to turn down here to head to a gas station that I haven't seen before. I want to see what this location looks like in person, just for something different. There is another Loaf and Jug here in Laramie that I think is supposed to be Sinclair, but there's no Sinclair branding, and one of the Loaf and Jug signs is still there, and I think we'll see that later in the stream as well. Oops, wrong one. Well, you know what? Let's turn here anyway. I want to show this spot too. All right, we'll go this way and back this way. And back this way. There we go, that'll work. There's a black market and, gosh, there's more smoke shops here than I thought. A black market and an Up and Smoke. There's Domino's, Neko Sushi, and Subway. Kind of a weird building. Nice. Hopefully everyone's having a good day that's in the live stream. As I said at the start of the stream, we are in Laramie, Wyoming. We're checking some stuff out, seeing what it's like. Almost getting, well, yeah, I can go. He's taking his time. We're checking out Laramie, seeing what's new since the last time I was in this area. I did record one video that will be coming on the channel soon, most likely, as long as all goes well. But besides that, we're going to head down 15th Street. So now we're headed northbound. I can beat that Tesla. There's no pedestrians this time. There's a pedestrian in my blind spot in this one, so thankfully they were far back, so it didn't matter. But they were in my blind spot, so I didn't see them. And it's like if I had moved just a little bit, I would have seen them and stopped. So now I'm aggravated at myself. I think legally you technically don't have to stop unless they're in the crosswalk, but I don't think that's right. I think if they're on the curb, you definitely need to stop. We're cutting through the UW area right now, University of Wyoming. As you can see, they're doing a lot of construction over here. It looks like there's 2 brand new buildings and they've completely redone this intersection. They added in that Hawk crossing beacon over here. Going to go all the way around so you can see it and then continue back on North 15th Street. We're back northbound now. Oh wow, they added in a wide bike lane here. Look at that. That's not too bad. I still don't care for painted bike lanes, but that actually isn't so bad for American standards. Now if they can just make it go somewhere rather than ending in oblivion like that, that would be perfect. Gibbon Street. I keep seeing Pontiacs, Jeremy. Jeremy? I keep seeing them everywhere, man. For those of you that don't know, Standby News is in live chat. When he does his live streams, he's usually using his Pontiac, and well, frankly, partly because of him, I now see those everywhere. Oh, they do got a little bit of bike lane here. It's like one of those lanes where you can park but also use as a bike lane. I don't love or hate those. It's less confusing than the painted bike lanes that are between the parking lane and the drive lane, but oh, there it is. So over here on the right is a Shell gas station. It just caught my attention because I don't usually see Shells in Wyoming, or at least not in southeast Wyoming. There used to be one in Wellington and along I-25, but I think that's Sinclair now. I think it turned into Sinclair. Looks like this is actually called Snowy's, but they got the Shell branding, so that's pretty much the deal here. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. There we go. I'll do this. I think I could have gotten out over there, but that's all right. Hopefully the stream is doing okay on quality-wise. It probably is since people are watching, but hopefully not too much lag. I've never tried to live stream from Laramie before, so this is a completely new live beyond for me. Yeah, and even here, it looks like they kind of have this parking lane / bike lane thing. There's one of these that I can think of off the top of my head in Cheyenne. And it's on a quieter street, although the speed is still a little bit quick for the cars, in my opinion. And I think the next spot, right? Yep, so this is East Reynolds Street where we're at, and we're headed we're headed west. But yeah, I think there's one that I can think of in Cheyenne for sure, and maybe a couple others. Most of Cheyenne seem to just be the standard painted bike lane between the parking lane and the drive lane. Although there is one spot where it's kind of a completely separated bike lane thing, sort of. They made the bike lane pedestrian walkway kind of together, so it sort of works that way. I don't know. It's hard to explain without being there. It's over there at Logan Avenue and Nation Way in Cheyenne. There's signs over there that even indicate that bikes are supposed to be on the left of the sidewalk, whereas pedestrians are supposed to be on the right. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna be a lemonade stand there, but it's just a washing machine with a bunch of chairs. Oh man, it legit looked like a table at first. Oh well. All right, I think from experience before, I'm gonna actually go straight and take a left. So I think we're technically on Curtis Street now, and we're gonna take a left onto 3rd, and I'm gonna try to go into a spot where we can see this location better, and then maybe hop out and take a look. We'll see. Well, it didn't say that you got one, but it looks suspiciously similar. I like the brick design of the university. Yeah, it's a pretty decent university. I went there once on a school trip a very long time ago. And as far as I remember, it looked pretty decent back then. In the food hall, they now have a Chick-fil-A. And that's another thing where if it was Monday, not only could I take the buses and walk or bike, I could also what am I trying to say? I could also go into maybe anyway, I'm assuming the public can go in there. I could maybe even go into the food hall and show that, but yeah, that's not going to happen because it's a Sunday. It's closed on Sundays, so. All right, across the street is a old gas station. Pumps are long gone. It's called Susie's Frontier, and it has a Frontier logo. I'm not sure if it's Susie's Frontier Gas or if Frontier is a different brand from Susie's. I don't really know, but it looks pretty retro. We've got one truck, and then I think we can go. I think I'm going to try and park somewhere over here and see if I can show you guys a look inside. I was almost thinking maybe I should do a video, but it's like, well, then again, there's not, granted, even if you can see inside, there's not a lot to see. It'd be a really short video. I feel like the Applebee's video was short as it is, so I don't know. I have mixed thoughts on that, but gotta unplug my phone battery for now. Take you guys off the stand here, maybe. There we go. All right. Let's see. Anyone behind me? No. Okay. Ugh. 1 second, guys. Ugh. There we go. Hopefully it's not too shaky. I should probably meep it. Come on. There we go. Just make sure it's locked. All right, it's gonna be a little shaky because I don't have you guys on the gimbal. I pull the gimbal out, but then that means I have to unplug my microphone, plug it back in, and hopefully everything works. I don't want to do that. Not for a brief amount of time. It clouded up, so it's not so hot right now. Got a pizza over there. It is still open, even though the sign's not on this side. And it says the lunch buffet is back, and unfortunately I see some vandalism here. Yeah, definitely some vandalism. That's too bad. Closed permanently. Too bad. Looks like cigarette spot right back there. And then a little convenience store over here. And we'll be able to get a good look inside from over here. God, I hate vandalism. Don't vandalize places, man. Why do people do that? People that vandalize are the reason that places get boarded up. The Susie's label is more visible on the other side, so I'll show that instead. But you can see the Frontier logo really clearly on this side. It seems like out here in Laramie on this street, they've been doing a lot of construction. They installed bulb outs at Grand Avenue and 3rd, which I think we'll see a little bit later in the stream maybe. There you go, Susie's Frontier gasoline. Right here, completely abandoned. It's the one good one that we can see really clearly. All the other gas stations I was looking at maybe filming, can't see much. Pluto's, because of them, I actually probably could see in one window of one of the gas stations, but it may or may not be the one that's blurred out in the thumbnail. Took a photo of it back when it was open. I'll talk about when I get there. And there is a Goodwill over here off to the left. It's not much of a sidewalk on the street, so what can you do? Off to the beach for one last time, says Nikki. Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll cancel. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. One sec, guys. There we go. I'm right-handed, so there we go. Okay, that works. Okay. Oh, let's get you back on the stand. And lock it down, maybe. There we go. All right. That was nice to see that, even though it was damaged. I really should probably do a little UE and get a couple of photos. I was a little bit worried when I was planning this stream that I would not be able to do a U-turn, or I'm sorry, not a U-turn, but I was worried I would not be able to do a left turn off of this side street, but it's really not that traffic-y, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Definitely a retro-looking gas station that's probably been here forever. Unfortunately, I did not look at the property assessor, so I do not have a build date for you. There we go. And get a couple of photos of the sign here. All right. There we go. Gonna take a left. Easy. Look at that. Didn't even have to think twice. All right. So that is Susie's. Next we have home base and all that. All right. Look at all the construction they're doing. It's good. The last time I was out this way, this road was rough. So I am glad to see it. Got a Dairy Queen on the left. Building looks a little different with the sign kind of off to the side like that. We're at 411. That's not too bad. Making good time so far. You guys won't be able to see it, but there is actually a true value at this location. God, I almost want to maybe come back the other way so you guys can see it. Maybe I will. Got O'Reilly Auto Parts. And got one person here, and then we'll do it. Maybe I'll go around the block. Alright, so this is Sully Street. We're turning on. And 4th. Gonna go north and then come back. So that way you guys can see it. I wasn't planning on showing this one, but it caught my eye because it kind of looks like a Family Dollar. I don't know if it was a Family Dollar, but it kind of looks like it. I kind of hope it was, but who knows? It might not have been. So this street or one more? This one. Bunny rabbit crossing the street. Why'd the bunny get to cross the road to get to the other side? Except that joke's kind of stupid because it's kind of, in a way, negative in a way. Usually they say chicken, but yeah. I don't know. I doubt it was actually a Family Dollar, but it kind of looks like it to me. It could go either way, I suppose. There's a lot of places that go for that corrugated building type of design. Okay, I think I can beat that car there. There we go. All right, coming up ahead. Oh yeah, I filmed Spirit Halloween here too. I forgot about that. So we're coming up on the former Kmart here in Laramie. 2 new stores have taken it over, Homebase and Ross. And overall, the aesthetics are still there, but there's definitely some differences. Homebase seems to have taken the upper part of the sign, and it looks like Ross added their own little sign into there. Since the last time I was here, they added that traffic light on the other side of the 307 thing here. Wyoming Downs, that's what it's called. But yeah, there's Ross. You can clearly see that looks like Kmart on the front. And then over here on the right, we have the Homebase. So we'll do something like this. I should really get a different angle for the photo. So this used to be Kmart. I actually found an announcement thing in one of the newspapers that discussed about how Kmart was expanding to the big K format here. So originally this Kmart definitely was not a big K. They later expanded it to include the food pantry and all the stuff that comes with a big K. I'll read the chat again here momentarily. I'm going to pull out and go into a different position so I can get a photo of Homebase. I have not seen this. I've seen photos, but I haven't seen this in person since before all this opened. The last time I saw this, it was definitely the Spirit Halloween. So we're going to park a little bit funny, but nobody's over here, so I don't think it'll matter. And then I'll look at chat here in 1 second. Yeah, I guess that's not too bad. We can get that angle. Okay. And I'm going to reposition one more time because I want to show one other angle on this building. I don't want to forget. So this over here on the far side, of course, there's this place that I think was a shoe store of some kind. It looks abandoned. I actually probably could do a video of it. But over here at this end used to be the Kmart Garden Center. They've definitely done a little bit of modifying to it with this Homebase thing. As far as I can tell, this Homebase is definitely along the lines of like Baumgars or Murdoch's or maybe even Tractor Supply. Although I haven't visited it, it looks like it. Okay. I want to go to the beach to get the carrots. I remember Home Base was a large hardware store corporation from the 1990s. Not sure if it's the same company. It says Restored Data. They competed with Builders Square and Eagles Hardware before it changed to Lowe's. That's some interesting info to know. There were some of the Builders Square in my area. There were some Builders Squares. They were around. Not in Cheyenne. I think the nearest one, wasn't there one in Fort Collins where Kohl's is now? I can't remember. I know there was one over kind of near the Thornton, Westminster area, although I can't remember the exact location. Over here in this building, actually they did some remodel since last time I was here, so it looks a lot different now. But you have Ulta Beauty, Firehouse Subs, Bath and Body Works, a vacant space that I'm not sure what it's going to be or anything, and Little Caesars. And then you have Safeway over here as well. And a Safeway at Gas Express. And I think I actually need to backtrack so I can show the gas station over here. Not this one, it's a different gas station. Hold on. That guy popped out a little bit. Off to the right, you probably didn't see him, but he's coming out of the Safeway gas station lot. Okay, we're gonna turn this way as well. All right, there's the old Sherry's. Too bad Andy's Retail Adventure, or was it? Andy's Retail Explorations is in here because he'd like to see the Sherry's, but oh well. It's not abandoned anymore. It's now that casino-ish thing. It's not really a casino, but it's a gambling facility. All right, there you go. On the right is a former gas station as well. I'm gonna pull off to the right, let this traffic pass and park on the other side, I think. All day diagonal parking only. Okay, so I can park there, in other words. Okay. Birch. Okay. We're gonna hop out and take a look at it. God golly, I think Jeremy's kid grabbed the scanner. Unless that was him like trying to talk in a high-pitched voice, I think it was his kiddo. So I have standby news on a little walkie-talkie thing, and we've occasionally been communicating throughout the stream or throughout the today. Let's see. So Restored Data says it was Wadsworth in 90th. It was the former Builders Square, and now they're occupied with a 4-story condo and apartments. Yep, there you go. He's got it. He's got it. I was actually thinking about filming that too. It actually made me a little bit sad to see that gone in such a way that I couldn't film it. Not the end of the world, it happens, but okay. There we go. Okay, wanted to make sure I didn't drop anything. We're gonna lock the door again. Granted, we're just going across the street. So you probably can't see it too well in the current thumbnail if you're watching live. The thumbnail I will update this stream with has a photo of this store when it was open though. This is a former Come and Go. It closed quite a while back. I don't remember exactly when. It's within the last 3 years, but I don't remember the exact date. I was almost maybe thinking about filming it, but in the street view it had paper all over it. But now that I see it's Pluto's, it's like, well, I guess I won't do a video at all now. It says coming soon, Pluto's Smoke Shop. They are working to open another location in Cheyenne, Pluto's is, as well as one of the others. I can't believe how many of these smoke shops are opening. Again, I for the most part, these places I just don't report on just because I don't want. I don't think it should smoke, but it still looks like Come and Go in there. They have that one section of paper ripped down, which is hilarious. Store closed. Coming soon. That's what it looks like. Although I don't care for smoke shops, I do like Pluto's branding. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hysterical. Over at the Cheyenne one, there's an alien in the drive-through area, which I think is just too funny. And they've been having a wacky wave inflatable man too lately. I thought so. He jumps on there and just says as loud as he can, "Hi, bad boy." I think the stream caught it too. Oh, that was funny. I did not expect that. For a second, I totally thought it was like the radio on the car. Oh, man. That is too funny, man. Way too funny. So this is Flint Street and 3rd Street where we are at. I think this is South 3rd, or is this North 3rd? I have no idea. But yeah, you got the old Sherry's building over there. I think the Wyoming Downs is still there. I didn't push the button, but it's a green light, so we'll take it. Let's walk a little bit. Why not? I don't have the scanner or the walkie-talkie with me right now, just FYI. Well, now you know. Guys, if you're not familiar with like the streams that me and Jeremy did in the years past, is this car going to stop? Yeah. A while back, like a couple of years ago, me and Standby News would stage out, and he'd do his live streams and I'd drive around. It kept us both company as something interesting for us to do, while also letting people know about some of the chaos that's happening around town. These days he usually streams on his own, but we used to do that all the time, and when we would do that, there were many times where his kid would end up watching the streams, so he's like too familiar. He likes it when I come over and stops by there. He wants to see me every time when I go over to Jeremy's now. That's okay though. Yeah, this is the Wyoming Downs though, and there's a home base back there. God, I really should come over here and get a photo, but the hard part is I don't have a tripod for my phone. There were so many times though that he'd watch our streams. So he watched Jeremy's a lot. It's like, logically, if you're someone's kid, you're probably gonna want to see what they're doing. So there's no hatred there, by the way. But should we go over and look at this shoe store place? I think I will. I forget what it was called. It was actually a shoe store and not the joke I was making in the last live stream. I can't remember the name of it. It was a different name that I cannot think of right now. I was trying to see in the street view if maybe it closed, but I really couldn't tell. But driving over here, I can see now it's definitely empty. There's still store hours, but of course that doesn't mean it's open. So this is over at the corner of Snowy Range, 3rd, and what's the other street here? Harney Drive? The Snowy Range is the one that goes up and over. This viaduct looks suspiciously similar to the one that goes over the railroad tracks in Cheyenne at Logan Avenue. Gosh, look at the weird jank thing they did to try and keep this door shut. That's jank. Yeah, it's definitely vacant. Dang. Yeah, too bad. Foot Locker. Yeah, I think that might have been it. Is your Foot Locker one of those? It's something Locker. It might have been Foot Locker. I can't remember. I don't know. Almost could do a video of it, but I don't know. I just did it in the live stream, so do I need to? Maybe not. Alright. Now we'll cross back on the street. I like that they cleaned up those corners. The corner over here didn't even have a traffic light, so it was a nightmare to get out of this parking lot as it was sometimes. And before the traffic light was there, there was also not really a good corner to cross here. So I am glad they did that in a way. This is just one spot that is like really high traffic, at least for Laramie standards. All right. I need to make sure to plug my phone in again when we get in the car. It's not dying, but it's getting lower on the percentage. I don't want it to die. I've had too many times where it craps out right in the middle of a stream. I don't want that again. Yeah, look at the aesthetics of that though. Of the Sherry's. I guess the one out in Scotts Bluff is gone, and I don't know if it's still vacant or replaced. I think Andy would really like me to film that. Andy's retail exploration. He's out in the Washington and Oregon area, and he recently did a whole bunch of Sherry's across this whole area over there. I think he did all of them in his own state, and I know he did a whole bunch of locations out in like Idaho and Washington and whatnot. So that whole area, he really documented the crap out of Sherry's. It'd be easier to cross right here. You know, look at the corners here. Oh, there's your fire hydrant. That one's green, yellow, and red colored. As far as I understand, the colors of fire hydrants usually corresponds to how much pressure. And I think the red and blue ones are the ones that are supposed to be like the highest pressure or close to it. Once again, there's the come and go. It's roughly from this position too that I took that photo in the thumbnail. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get across. God, that's so easy to get across here now. That is so easy. Got carpet one. There's one of those in Cheyenne too. Yeah. Yeah, Plaza looks different now. It's not the same. It's not bad. I think it looks better than it did. The way it used to look, it had a lot of aesthetic, but it was also kind of, it looked worn down. It looked like it had its years. So I can't complain about the remodel, but yeah, it's just different. One hour, yep. Yeah, it sounds about right. All right, we're gonna hop back in the car now. One sec, guys. Oh, this is awkward. There we go. Okay, try and do this a little bit farther away. Gosh, my poor screen cover. Oh, my screen cover is wearing out, guys. It's the screen cover I've had since I got the phone. And after, God, how many years has it been since I got this phone? God, coming up on a decade. The screen cover is finally starting to give. I've had part of the screen protector actually chip off. It's not one of the glass ones. It's one of the ones that were rubber. You used to be able to get these rubbery ones that are more of a plastic material rather than glass. These days, it looks like you can pretty much only get glass, but man, it's wearing out. And unfortunately, it does look like I'm going to be stuck with finding a glass one, if I can even find one for my phone, because it's that old. And yet, even though it's still so old, I'm impressed at how long it has lasted, and thanks for that, but I didn't need it because they were in the other lane. But like, it's impressive how long it's lasted, and even though it's so old, I would argue it's still pretty competitive in the modern day. In some ways, I'd argue more competitive, since apparently some of the newer phones have AI crap built into the camera app that makes the moon look real, even though it's not when you zoom into it. It's literally a generated image that replaces the moon if you zoom in too much. Of course, obviously, if you zoom in with your phone without that, then you just get a big white blimp. On a big white blimp, that's all you get. But, yeah. Oh, shoot. I'm going to go forward. Park over there, try and get a good comparison shot. Let's see what I can do here. I want a good comparison shot of that place right there. Can't get it perfect because the intersection has changed. This whole spot has changed, so it's not the same as it used to be. So I'm just not going to be able to get the same shot, but I'll be able to get it close. Of course, it'll be hard for you guys to see what I'm doing, but that's okay. I guess I could flip the camera, but I don't know if I feel like it. Man, that's hard to get that same photo. The traffic light actually blocks it. Oh, yeah, there was a doggy. There was a doggy. All right, let's flip this thingy. There we go. Now you guys can watch me take a photo. Is that the right direction? No, I need to rotate this more if I can. There we go. That should do it. Hopefully you guys have been having a good day so far. Yeah, this is going to be hard to get a good photo. Oh, yay, the camera focused on the building. If I had a big old high-end SLR with a good lens on, I'd probably just throw into manual focus as I needed, but with a point and shoot, it's usually easier to just be in auto mode most of the time. And when I'm not in auto mode, it's because I'm using the exposure stuff, not any kind of manual focus. When I try and manually focus this thing, it just does not go so well. But that's okay. I'm gonna flip you guys back around and get you guys situated back the right way. Looks like that should be close. Maybe a little bit less angle. There we go. Yeah, that's hard to get a good photo. I want one more photo of that sign. Oops. Try that again. All right, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and continue, shall we? We'll go out this way. Yeah, that's jank. I'm gonna have to back up a little bit. There we go. I think the next place is down the road here. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that next. Okay, cool. All right, so we're on 3rd Street. We're gonna be headed south here momentarily. I can't see around the bush, so we're just gonna wait for the lights. We will take a pass through downtown. I'm just debating on if I wanna go down. Kind of wanna stick with 3rd until we get closer to where I wanna go, so. You gonna stop, sir? Most of this right through here feels like about the same as it was back when I came through before. Jesus. Granted, what that person on the left did, I don't know if you can see our vehicle. Granted, what they did wasn't illegal, I don't think, as far as I know. Like, I think they were legally in the right. I hate it when people do that because you never know when they're going to cross into your lane. I've had times before where people literally do that to me, and it almost causes a crash every time. I've been pretty good about avoiding getting into one. I haven't had a crash happen because of that. I intend on never getting into a crash for that matter, but yeah, it's still annoying when people do that. All right, here's Grand Avenue. You can see brand new traffic lights and brand new bulb extensions, curb extensions on this, which is super nice. Those corners were not very nice looking before. Then coming over here to 2nd Street, we have these really old traffic lights that they don't really use anymore. Cheyenne used to have traffic lights similar to this. There's no pedestrian signal, just red, yellow, and green for each direction, and there's no bar going over the streets or anything. Super retro looking. I like that they still have those here. It does look like they repainted them a little bit, because I swear they used to be yellow poles, but maybe I'm forgetting. Got lots of small shops here. Oops, hit a yellow light. Got a place over here on the left that you guys can't see now. That's called the Sugar Moose Tea Room Cupcake House Cupcakery. Okay. There's a place kind of like that in Fort Collins that took over the old Schlotzsky's. I haven't tried it, but I noticed it the last time I was there. And the sandwich shop that was there between Schlotzsky's and the cupcake place that's there now, or the bakery place, that is gone. They closed. They still have the Loveland one though. So they do got good sandwiches. They're similar to what Schlotzsky's had. Okay, here's Custer. I think I need to go. Is it this one? Maybe one. I might have gone a little too far actually. If I have to, I'll backtrack. Got Clore Brothers Furniture on both sides of the street here, and a really unusually Schwab tire center there that is in the downtown. Don't see that too frequently. Over here is the Laramie's train depot. I want to just take a quick pass by here because they do have, oh, we can go that way. Well, there's not much to see over there. I want to show the train. They have a steam locomotive over here. Oh, look at that Jeep. Is that a Jeep Cherokee in front of me? Looks like it. Oops. There we go. We're gonna hop out again. 31%. I gotta watch that. Okay. There we go. Let's hop out and take a look at this. Yep, we're zoomed in a little bit, aren't we? There we go. Yeah, old steam locomotive right here. They got. So I guess this is kind of what they want to do in downtown Cheyenne when they get the whatever of those train locomotives, cars, whatever they're going to put over there. I guess this is kind of what they're going for, something like this to kind of hopefully enliven people's knowledge about the history of the railroad in Cheyenne. They have these old railroad crossing signals, although they don't have crossing bucks. And then they have the train over here. I looked at this one time back in 2019. So you got UP 25232. I know this isn't exactly retail necessarily, but it's something interesting that I just wanted to stop and take a look at. Another train car 06778. And then you have the steam loco right here in the middle of the track. I don't see a number on it. And they have the snowplow pusher on the front. I can't make out the number on that. 90-something-something-15. It says WYCO, which probably stands for Wyoming, Colorado. Let's see the other side of it. God, that is interesting to see it from that angle. Still got a few other retail things I want to look at today, so we can't spend too much time, but we'll walk down this side of it. Hopefully not too shaky. It's hard to hold this steady, and I don't think this app has any stabilization in it. So, if it is shaky, I apologize. Of course, they have the rail yard over here. There's a pedestrian bridge that takes you over the railroad crossing, or railroad tracks, I should say. I don't know, then again, maybe Wyco has something to do with the depot too, I don't know. Especially seeing that employees only sign. Marysville, Kansas. Apparently one of the cars they would have at the Cheyenne one is from California. So that was one of the points that people who are kind of more against the idea of having the train stuff down there. That's one point they were making. It's like, why have this stuff from another place that doesn't really have significance here as much? But I don't know, that doesn't mean it didn't ever come here. It might have, because those cars go all over the country, right? I mean, these trains take you everywhere across the country. So who's to say it never went to Cheyenne? And Cheyenne, I mean, Cheyenne was kind of the crossroads for not just the aviation stuff, but also the train stuff. It was a really hot spot because you could go north, south, east, west from that point. It's not the only one like it, but it is one of them. Oh, maybe I can try to flip a UE or something and do that. Yeah, that's not good. There we go. All right, let's get this thing back plugged in again. There we go. Probably don't want to plug it anymore today if I can avoid it, because it is quickly dying. Not dying, but the battery's getting low. I don't want to have it die on me, so yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to maybe go down the street, come back and do that for Jeremy. Okay, no one behind me. Go like this. There we go. Rolling tattoo. I saw that in Street View. I'm gonna flip a UE so I can go take a photo of that. Because Jeremy wants a photo, so that's okay. I kind of want a photo too, so we'll do it. If there's one thing I've noticed, there's a lot of people biking in Laramie. There is a lot of people biking around Laramie. I actually, for the first time, saw one of my first e-cargo bikes where you have the back seat for another passenger or smaller passengers or whatever. Kind of was crazy to see that finally. Man, that's a hard angle to get. I almost need to go back around again. That's hard to get a good angle on. All right, let's try something a little different. Kearney Street. What time are we at? 4:45. That's not too bad. Okay, we got one car. Okay, this might work. Maybe. Maybe not. I can't tell. The trees are kind of... Well, maybe. Maybe this will work. I don't know. Yeah, the trees are in the way. Gosh darn it. That's tough. Okay, I have one other idea. It might be... I don't know. I'm not going to say it. I might flip the camera so you don't see me do it, but it's going to be a jank angle because I don't feel like getting out of the car again right now. Sorry to make you guys in circles here, trying to get a good photo of the train. That it's just really hard to do it because of all the trees and stuff without getting out. Beep, beep. Okay. What's up, Nathan? We'll do that and front. There we go. That'll work. Yeah, I I'm gonna do something that's really jank that you guys don't need to see. It's gonna be weird. It's probably not the best thing ever to do, but we're gonna do it because it's the only way I'm gonna get a photo without getting out of the car. It's a pain to unplug the phone and deal with my microphone, and also deal with the fact that my battery's kind of getting low. All right, there we go. Maybe a little farther. Ouch, I don't want to go too far. God, that's hard even there. Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to back up a little bit. I won't go in the puddle. Okay, that might work. Maybe a little farther. A little farther. A little farther. Maybe that'll work. Let's do that. There we go. That's not a bad angle. There you go. I found a spot, my guy. Not too big of a deal. We're on a side street, so it don't matter, but is it gonna focus? Probably not. I think it kinda did. Kinda see what it is. There we go. I wanted a photo too, so it's okay. I think I got a few photos from a long time ago that have the crossing there, so should be okay. All right. It's a pretty calm street, so I'm not too worried about doing that there. But, although I didn't say what I did I? That's all I'm gonna say though. All right, moving on. It's a little bit jank, not the end of the world. We didn't block traffic, so we're fine. All right. I think we did that one time in one of the live streams a long time ago where we had to pull onto a weird spot of the street because we couldn't get to the side of the street where everything was happening. The only spot was to be on the weird side of the street, so. Yeah, it's not the first time I've had to do that. I don't do it too often, but try to avoid it. It happens though. Oh, there we go. Try and get that level. Hopefully you're having a good day, Nathan, and everyone in chat. Did I say Marvin Martin? How are you doing? Yeah, hopefully that's everyone. You can see they're doing construction over here. There's no car, so I'm gonna go. All right, this is another weird spot that I wanted to give a look at. I'm thinking I'm gonna turn this way. God, this is weird because of the construction. There we go. I'm gonna try to come down the other street over here so you can see it clearly. We're headed over here to the other Loaf and Jug in Laramie that's still branded as Loaf and Jug, but Google Maps says it's a Sinclair. The Loaf and Jug looked like it might have been abandoned and definitely got some remodel. So maybe it will become Sinclair, but in the meantime, it's definitely not branded as such, not on the exterior. Of course a big old semi truck would have to pull in there right when I'm coming over here, huh? Well, maybe it's there a little longer than a minute, but you can still see what I mean. It's branded as Loaf and Jug, even though it's not Loaf and Jug anymore. Yeah, it's weird. Oh, this is a blind corner. I don't like this. Not a bit. I don't like this corner. I'm not going out here. Screw that. I don't want to hit that sign. There we go. Yeah, screw this. I'm not going out here. That's a blind freaking corner. I was literally in the street and I couldn't see around the cars still. So screw it. I'm going to go a different way. Alright. So we're on 4th and we're going to get back on 3rd. I think there's a couple more things on 3rd that I want to show. Is it not this one that has a traffic light? Well, maybe this won't be so blind. Please don't be a blind corner. Yeah, it kind of is, dang it. Right, I'm gonna go for it. There we go. Made it. Golly, that is a hard... Even that was kind of hard to see around. Alright. Over here on the left is a little car wash. I filmed this too, actually. Dude, you had your blinker on. I thought you turned left. If I knew you weren't going to turn left, I wouldn't have done that. I already did a video of it. I don't think there's any point in hopping out on this one. But... got another doggy. We got another doggy. Oop, there's another truck. There we go. Alright. Spin around. There we go. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in doing a video of hopping out and looking at this because I've already done a video of it. Back when I did a video of it, it actually was less guided. So it's actually more worth it to watch that video, I think. But the building is still there after all this time. Kind of coming up near the end here. There is a Exxon gas, what used to be an Exxon gas station over here. It turned into a self-service puppy place where you could go bathe and what have you. Sure, it wasn't the cleanest, and it looks like it's closed. It's definitely for sale now. So, yeah, I almost wouldn't mind maybe doing a video of it, but here's other things I'd rather do a video of that interest me more. But it interests me that the Exxon sign is still there after all this time. Oh, this is 2-lane. I didn't even realize it was a 2-lane area. Alright. Can't enter, so I guess the only thing I can do is U-turn. Then we do got this brand new Maverick over here. It's pretty decent on the inside, actually. Let's try to go around the lot so you can see the storefront. I'm gonna go behind this lady. There's no one behind me. She's kind of just taking her time trying to eat some food. I'm gonna try and get a look at the Maverick. It looks a lot like the one that they built over off of Camp Stool in Cheyenne. Very similar. Except smaller. It's definitely smaller. The one in Laramie is huge. I'll look at chat again real quick. Don't look like anything new. There we go. Cooled off in the car again. Sorry for blasting the AC. I'm sure it's noisy, but trying to make the best of it here. Looks like we got a couple cars here. Definitely doing a lot of construction here in Laramie. I have a sneaky suspicion this building on the right side of the road that you'll see as we turn the corner, it looks like it might have also been a former Phillips 66. I'm not sure, but it kind of looks like it. It kind of looks like maybe they took the gull wing off of it. On the left, we got a place called Fernandito's Mexican Grill that I have a feeling it's somehow connected to Rolando's, but I'm not sure. but it looks like it took over a former fast food that most recently was a Chinese place. But it kind of looks almost like a Hardee's or Carl's Jr. in a way. I'm not sure if it was. I don't know if there's even city directories for Laramie I can look at right now. I don't know if I'd have to go to another location or if they'd have those at the archives in Cheyenne or something. I don't know. It looks like it. It definitely looks like it. I can't be for certain. It looked pretty overgrown in the street view imagery, but now that it's that Fernandito's place, I don't know. It might be unrelated, but it looks really similar to the Rolando's and Fernando's and all that's in Cheyenne. It looks very similar. If it's not related, then it's definitely similar by coincidence. We want to actually turn into this lot. Oops. I want to turn into this lot so I can show this spot. I was really hoping that the Bart's Flea Market sign, the huge Bart's Flea Market sign, absolutely ginormous, I was hoping it is still here. In the street view, it showed the building demolished, but the sign's still standing. But unfortunately, the sign is also gone. So this area in front of me used to be a place called Bart's Flea Market. It's kind of, at least for Laramie, I think it was one of the talks of the town. That unfortunately is no more. I heard it was closing, and it was on a thought on my mind to maybe try and film it. But of course, back when that was closing, it was one of those periods of time where it was very hard for me to go to other cities. The last couple of years, it's been very hard for me to even go out in my own city and film stuff at times. So getting out of a city was a whole other issue for a while, just because of natural circumstances that are, oh God, I almost don't want to go through this. They're mostly out of my control. I don't want to go through this. This is a bad idea. I'm going to get it flat if I go through that. But it's just been crazy the last couple of years. I'm glad that I'm kind of getting to a point where things are actually kind of steady in a way. But, man, I don't know. It'd be hard to explain just because there's so much crap that just doesn't need to be on the internet, and we'd be sitting here for probably 24 hours talking about all the things that, we're not going to do that. It's just not happening. But either way, the point is that the last couple of years have been pretty crazy. It's been kind of crazy since 2020, really. But it got crazier as time went on, and then it kind of calmed down. So, yeah, that's about all I'm going to say there. This is the budget inn where we pulled in. Never been here, but the logo caught my attention. It's definitely, again, that 70s-esque look with those yellows and red color schemes going on. And I guess I gotta decide what way I want to go from here. Phone is at 29, so it's going up. That's good. I don't want the sign. I was really hoping it was here, though, so I could document it, because it's a cool sign. Like, if you go into Google Maps Street View and look at it, it's a cool frickin' sign. And because it's so frickin' big, you can see it clear from the interstate over here. You can see it clear from I-80. It's a ginormous sign. I would never want to try to own. Man, that thing, they probably just straight up took a big old chopping axe to it and knocked it down. But man, it still was a cool sign, even though it was old, worn out, derelict, all that stuff. It was a cool sign in my opinion. Let's see, we did that, and we did this. So we can go. We have 3 options. I need you guys in chat to let me know which way I should go. I know you're just playing. So we got 3 different ways we could go. We could end over at Walmart, the open one. We could go down